and welcome to your daily Templar report with me, your guest presenter, Jim Dowson. I'm looking a bit wild and rugged today because it's been blowing a gale here. It's a mad storm and we've had to batten down the hatches, but it's been a storm every week for the last, 10 weeks. Never seen anything like it. Storm, what is it? Debbie or something? I don't know what it is. I'm fed up with it. John Ventry's not getting audio. Hello. Is the audio working? Hello. Don't know. Can anybody else hear me? Anybody hear me? It's only John Ventry can't hear me. Same here, you can't hear me either. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Because remember, we're trying to redo all this stuff now without proper technical support, so I don't know what's happened. There's no audio. Oh dear. 1 2 1 2. You can hear me. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so people can hear me. Okay, so it's just audio's fine. So there's something wrong with your machines, boys. Turn your computers on or something. It's good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just a localised problem with a couple of people. So you can hear me good. Excellent. Who's in? Derek C. How you doing? Mitch Cameron. Marty BFP. God bless you. Nick Griffin. Hello, Mr. Griffin. Angela. Steve Trussell. Nice to see you. Templar report says audio is fine. Good. Excellent. Mitch Cameron can hear me. Trinity. Yeah, everybody. Paul Jarish. How you doing, Paul? I hope your health's a wee bit better, brother. So there we go. I hope you're a bit better. Good to see you all, one and all. And welcome to this first of the week, so Monday. Templar report. That's it. We're still plodding about. We had a sermon on yesterday, obviously for Remembrance Day, hence the poppy. I was out absolutely soaked to the skin. Yesterday at Remembrance Day, but it was good because I've got 9 grandsons and 3 granddaughters. 2 granddaughters. Or was it 3? Three granddaughters, and most of them were all out in parade yesterday. And I've got to say that my daughter-in-law, she runs the girls' brigade, and she had about 60 girls out in parade, pouring her in, no jackets, and they were like the Waffen SS. They were perfect, and they stood for about half an hour, not a flinch out of them while the ceremony was going on, in the pouring, howling rain and wind. Excellent to see. Excellent. Now I see something up there, the Master Sword. Now a couple of folk have been waiting on them. The sermon was a wee bit late. I had a wee bit of technical problems, but it's okay. John Ventry doesn't know what's going on with the sound, but it's not us, John, it's you. So, yeah, the Master Sword there. Now, we don't know what's going on. Something strange is going on at this particular time. We don't really know, but we would appreciate if anybody's wanting to buy any stuff like the Master Sword, get them now, because cash is incredibly tight. There's been a absolute sudden drop-off, which is strange. Well, I thought it was a cup of tea getting done there, but no, obviously not. It's been quite severe, actually, so if you need anything, get it. And people are saying, these are things that are in stock, but where are they? Because I ordered it 2 or 3 weeks ago. It takes a wee while, even when they're in stock, it takes a wee while to work through them, because they've been going wild. I ordered the sword. Yeah, they'll be going, don't worry. The swords are going out, don't worry. But we'll probably get it up to speed by the end of next week. But it's been quite hectic. But if you're needing anything, and you've ordered stuff, if you haven't order them now, please, because this month has been a nightmare. We don't really know what's going on. We don't know if we've got something wrong, because the techie man full time now has moved on, so we're trying to do this ourselves, and we don't know if we've got something wrong in the background or something like that. But it's been absolutely awful, ghastly. I think the other day we pulled in $10 the whole day, $10. So there's something wrong, or people are just busy, or people are just financially wrecked. I don't know, but it's quite worrying. So if anybody can get anything, please do so. Buy in you want, do when you want. Thanks, Mitch. You're a gentleman. So I've got a great reading for you today, and some very interesting things to look at. So let's read the Word of God together. We're in the Proverbs, obviously, and we're in chapter 17, verse 15. Now, this is very good considering the times we're living at the moment, and I hope you would like this. I'll just tell you about this. Hear ye the Lord. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. Amen. And we know the Lord will add his blessing to this, the public reading of his infallible, inspired, and inerrant word. And the people of God said, Amen. And I want to poor Scott above no income. I know how you feel. But anyway, I know you guys will do what you can do, but instead of just throwing money in, buy something for yourself. It helps. It all helps. But look, I want to read that again. And regarding what's going on in Palestine/Israel, just remember this: he that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. Now, with the situation in Palestine, Israel, I don't think any of them are just, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. I don't think the Muslims are just, and I don't think the Jews are just. But you know what I mean? It takes the meaning for there, because I am fed up with people trying to justify the unjustifiable. And it's obviously, Mitch Cameron, where can we help you, brother? STPR. Not sure what that means. STPR? STPR? Don't know what that means. Mitch, I don't know what STPR means. Maybe I've got a foggy brain. I don't know. Let me know. But, you know, this is an important part of Scripture here. You know, as Christians, we cannot justify the unjust. And, you know, we cannot justify the wicked. So, you know, this is the problem I'm getting. And it's a big problem. It's a recurring problem. And I'm seeing it all the time. And it worries me. I was talking to a very good Christian woman yesterday, and she just could not get it. She just could not understand. And I'd end up saying to her, look, if you got children? She says, yes. I said, go into the room right now, because it was quite late. I said, go into the room and the kids are sleeping. Go and look at their faces. And then tell me you can justify bombing civilian targets. And people say, but Israel's not bombing civilian targets. Okay, not per se. I don't think they are. But their attitude is this. If there's 5 Hamas fighters at the bottom of a block of flats, Israel's taking out the whole block of flats, maybe 600 people in that block of flats, and killing 50, 60 people just to get those couple of terrorists. That's not on. That's just not how we conduct ourselves as civilised countries, even in a war. It's not what we do, is it? It's terrible. It's terrible. And the problem is, you know, people call this a war. It's not a war. You have one of the biggest, most sophisticated armies on the planet, armed to the teeth by the biggest force in the world, America, firing tens of thousands of rockets per week, against a civilian population with no army, no defence force. What's there is 3,000 or 4,000 terrorists in a population of 2.5 million. 2,000 or 3,000 terrorists in a population of 2.5 million. There's no army, no defence, no civil defence, no air defence, no army, no air force, no tanks, no armoured vehicles, nothing. They're running about in Gaza now with donkeys. It's not a war. You have a massive army. Israel's called up 520,000 men. 520,000 men. And all the tanks, and all the aeroplanes, and all the artillery, and everything, and they're attacking a civilian enemy. Where's the war? Where's the war, folks? There is no war. Slaughterhouse. Bombing hospitals. Yeah, they've bombed the Christian hospitals. They've bombed the Christian churches. Yet Christians are still supporting them. No, I won't do it. I don't support Palestine either, I may add. And of course, this week we had a big hullabaloo. And today, our Home Secretary's been sacked. Suella Braverman, who's a neocon shill, her and Tommy Robbins and all the rest of them are telling folk, go up to the cenotaph, that's like your Arlington in America, go up there and defend it, because there's a massive Free Palestine march on the same day. Well, two things. The Free Palestine march was 2 hours later, and in a totally different part of London, nowhere near the cenotaph. There was no need to go up and defend it, because there was nobody there to attack it at all. There was no need for it. And what happened was, the normal, usual suspects, a load of English, middle-aged, beer-gutted, bald, Yahoo yobs, went all up there chanting, England, England, and England till I die, and all this. Not a poppy between them. None of them have ever served a day in the army. None of them have had any uniform on. They don't even know the etiquette, so they're obviously not in a habit of going to war memorials. These are the absolute trash of the earth, and people are, you can tell who the Shills are now. People like Douglas Murray, Tommy Robinson, and all these people are saying, oh, wonderful, working class men get up to defend the war memorial. No, they made a fool of themselves and caused a riot. There was nobody to fight with, so they fought with the police. They fought with the police and picked on in the train stations the odd female Muslim they came across. This is not how men behave. We can't really blame them, because these people are godless. And people are criticising me because I'm saying, what an embarrassment having these loudmouth, foul-mouthed yobs on the street pretending to defend our war memorial. It would have done them better if they'd have maybe served time in the army. It would have done them maybe if they'd have wore the Queen's uniform. but none of them have. None of them wearing poppies. And one guy was so angry when I pulled these people up and said, "You don't even get poppies." He says, "No, because we're bringing a giant reef, REEF, reef." I think he was meaning wreath, 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 a wreath for remembrance, not a reef. Although I think he's had a couple of reefers. You know what I mean? Absolute idiot. Kit Bear says working class. Kit Bear, I love you, brother. Kit Bear says working class. No, they are dole dossers. They don't work. Unemployable. Absolutely. Absolutely. A bunch of bums. A bunch of drunken bums. And there was a Scotsman there. And I know him because the police have released the names of people. So they've been done with, like, you know, misbehaving, breach of the peace, so on and so forth. This Scottish guy, talk about giving the Scots a bad name. Drunk and incapable. So he goes up there to defend king and country. So drunk, the police have literally got to lift him away. Drunk and incapable. Yep, Mitch Cameron. I won't repeat that, Mitch, but you're 100% correct. A bunch of yahoos. It's terrible. Yes, absolutely. Let's see now. Mossad. Research, you would figure that Mossad IDF would pinpoint Hamas minerals of carpet. Absolutely. Yeah, they're doing carpet bombing. It's not right. It's not right at all. Now, Hamas are a bad bunch of swines. I don't like them. I mean, they did do some very cruel and vicious and beastly acts among the Israelis. Of course they did. But we cannot answer that by becoming even more ghastly and beastly. That's not how a civilised nation works. And if you want to be a civilised nation, well, you've got to behave like one. And I'm afraid, because of America, Israel's allowed to do what they want. And that's not good. And as a man said to me the other day, there's nearly 2 billion Muslims in the world. Yes, you can kill 3,000 Hamas terrorists, but you're going to create 3 million. Because if you were a Muslim and you were watching this onslaught, would you not be triggered? Would you not be radicalised? I'm damn sure they will be. So there we go. But anyway, let's have a look at some of this stuff. Where are we here? Thugs. Let's have a look at some of these Egypts. Oh, dear me, we're in an awful state. Have a look. So just to put this into context, my American friends, this is like somebody, some rabble-rouser, some neocon Zionist show like, what do you call her, Pamela Geller or something, saying, oh, the Muslims are all going to march on Arlington War Memorial, War Cemetery. You know the one in America, the big one in America. We've got a monument in London, which is our Holy of Holies. So imagine some rabble-rouser, or one of them like Proud Boy people and that saying, you've got to get there and defend it. Right, there's nobody there. The Muslim march was 2 hours later in a totally different part of London. So there's nobody there apart from proper veterans, proper people who've served in the armed forces. They're up there. So these Egypts then attack the police. And they think that is defending our sacred... Imagine if that was a load of Americans behaving like that up at Arlington, attacking the cops. There's no Muslims. There's no jihadis. There's no brown people. There's no nothing. It's just all up. The people at the War Memorial at this moment in time were veterans, ancient old veterans, and this mob turn up, and then because there's nobody to fight, as we told them, they attack the police at the holiest of holies. Can you believe such a thing? Can you believe that these people would have the audacity to call themselves patriots? Patriots, my backside. They are scum, unbelievable filth. Trash, scum. Yes, they were goaded into it. Yes, they were cajoled into it. But listen, you need to be scum to fall for such nonsense. They were told. I told them. Nick Griffin told them. Jada Franson told them. Even some of the right-wing people you don't like told them, don't go up there. And these morons went up there to try and be big. Try and be the big tough guys. I'll tell you what, it's a guilt trip. Arlington, that's it. It's a guilt trip. It's a guilt trip. Because let me remind you, 1 million, I'll repeat that, 1 million English girls have been gang raped by Muslim grooming gangs. Where were these guys then? Where were they? They haven't even broken a window. They've done nothing. So they're cowards. They're utter trash beyond belief. Scum beyond belief. But to make themselves feel big, they go up and fight with the police. They know they're not going to get into a real fight with the police. But they didn't go and attack the Muslim grooming gangs. They didn't go toe-to-toe with them, did they? That is the worst type of men I have ever seen. And people saying, stop saying that. Oh, stream's down, is it? You're back on. Okay. So, you know, these people, you know, they try and portray themselves as patriots, but they stood and done nothing when a million young English girls were raped. Now, the white population of Britain is 40 million, okay? Half of them are female, so that's 20 million female. Teenagers, you're talking about, what, 5 million? 1 million have been raped. A fifth, perhaps, of every young white teenager in England was raped by Muslim grooming gangs. These guys done nothing. Now they're up at our holiest of holies war memorial, the cenotaph, the most holy place in the whole of the United Kingdom, behaving like that and attacking the police. What total reprobates are these people? What total reprobates? Unbelievable. It's so shocking. It makes you sick. But that's what they're up to. And here's our very own Tommy Robinson, who was one of the main causes of this, telling people to go up there. Here's what Tommy actually thinks. Now, people are going up there to fight with the pro-Palestinian march because it's all immigrants, it's all Muslims. Tommy has publicly said he's pro-immigration, he's pro-gay, he's not right-wing. Publicly said this many occasions, I'm not right-wing. People still say, yeah, he is, I love him. He's not. And look what he's doing now. So the other day, a couple of days ago, just somebody checks, am I okay with your printing? Done. Good man. So a couple of days ago, Israel announced that they're going to bring in 450,000, pay attention, 500,000 Indian Hindus to do the work because they're not allowing the Palestinians to go back to their jobs, the cheap labour. So they're saying, no, the Palestinians are no longer getting any jobs off us. So they've destroyed Gaza. Now they've said you have no source of income. They're bringing in 500,000 Indian Hindus. And, right on cue, Tommy comes out with this the very next day. Watch.
Open your borders to Hindus or Sikhs. They'll come and work hard and be great citizens in your country. So happy Diwali.
Let me see that again because it's very short.
Open your borders to Hindus or Sikhs. They'll come and work hard and be great citizens in your country. So happy Diwali.
So he now, on cue, said, yeah, why don't we bring in loads of Hindus and Sikhs to our country? Do you see the type of person you're dealing with here? Oh, Trinity says he's a shill, not half. A shill. The biggest shill that's ever walked God's earth, I think. But people still support him. But it's a certain type of people, to be honest with you. It's those morons that were all fighting and roaring up at the Sacred War Memorial the other day. That's the people who follow him. So I know he's all over America. So our American members, please do your duty. Let people in America know what like this guy is and what he's all about. He is no good. He's no good. He's a bad egg. So there we go. That's what we see there. It's terrible. It's terrible. Aye, it's terrible stuff. And I just want to remind us of something as well. In 1999, so it's not a long time, just on the, 24 years ago. 24 years ago. The West, us, we attacked Serbia. Do you remember that? A lot of folk don't remember it because we never really got it. We never really got it on our TVs and whatnot. Do you remember? It was kind of blanked out for us. But this is one night, just one night, and Serbia was under attack for like 200 nights non-stop. 200 nights non-stop. I've got a good bit of clip that somebody sent me. And this is Belgrade on one night. And not a particularly bad night, but this is Belgrade on one night in 1999. So we've been in the West, we've been inhuman for a long, long time. A long time. And we've been attacking Christians for a very long time. And everything, again, everything can be attacked, everything can be bombed, everybody can be attacked, but not Israel. Ever. Period. Full stop. Have a look at what happened in Belgrade in 1999. Isn't that shocking? Isn't that appalling? That is a European city, a devoutly Christian city, being bombed to the Stone Age by Britain, America, France. Can you imagine such a thing? It's just... Mitch Cameron says, I was so grateful to the Lord that I was never posted there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, going to the brig. Exactly, I know guys when it went there. I know friends of mine who knew nothing about the situation and were fighting the Serbs and didn't know what it was all about. Now they're horrified. Now they say, what was I doing? I was fighting the wrong side. Yeah, but people don't remember it because it was more or less hidden from us. Now, Ireland, as usual, we do a lot of fighting here. So basically the IRA, the Marxist Catholic population, sent some of their volunteers to fight for the Croats because they are mad Catholic fascists, and a lot of my people, the Protestant loyalists, we went and fought for the Serbs, who are Orthodox, bit fascist as well, to be honest. But so we were both fighting for the right wing, but some people were fighting for the Catholic right wing, some people were fighting for the Orthodox right wing, the anti-European, anti-Atlanticist right wing, and other ones were fighting for the globalists. It's very strange. All the Irish Marxists were fighting for the globalists. How bizarre, isn't it? And us capitalists in the West, we were fighting for the anti-globalists. It's all very peculiar. Yeah, it's terrible. But there's quite a few folk here saying, I never knew about this. Remember, Serbia was under attack, Belgrade was under attack for 200 consecutive nights. 200. Almost a year. Imagine this. Yeah, 6 months anyway, 6 months. And nobody knows anything about it. I want to show you again, just so you get this into your head. This is what we did to a modern European city. Why? Here's the reason. The why? Because the Muslims had attacked the Serbs. The Serbs had kicked 40 shades of you-know-what out of them. The Serbs had obliterated them and were pushing the Muslims right out of their country. So NATO said, no, we can't have that. And they went in and attacked the Serbs because we were beating the Muslims. Can you believe it? But watch it again. There you go. And that's just one night out of 200. Quite appalling. Quite appalling, this kind of thing. And you wonder why these folk are very suspicious of the West. Well, I think I'd be as well. I'm suspicious of the West, and I live in the West. Now, I think we've got to draw a line. I remember once being pulled in by the secret police here, the British Secret Service. And they said, you're spending a lot of time in the East and with Russians and all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, I was born a Westerner. I will die a Westerner. Although I despise the government of my country, I despise the government of America. However, under no circumstance would I ever betray this country, or America, or Canada, or Australia, or New Zealand, because I take all of that as my people. It wouldn't happen, ever. Regardless of what my government's doing, I will never betray my country, because my country's more than the government. My country's more than a few corrupt politicians in the White House or in Westminster. My country's you. My friends, my people, the people around here, the people in this office, the people in this order. That's who my country is. So I will never betray my country. Do I disagree with them? Absolutely, fundamentally. But I would never sell out my country for the Russians, or even for the Serbs, or anybody else for that matter. I am loyal unto death to this country, good or ill. At the moment, it's very ill. But that's the way it is. So we should never get into that. We should never get into that type of thing. We the people, exactly. So we never betray our country. Good and bad governments come and go. The people, their country, the notion, the very notion of our nation is sacred. And there's nothing worse than a traitor. Nothing worse than a traitor. And I would not, under any circumstances, ever be a traitor. And that's just the way it is, and I think that's where we've got to be. But could I propose something here? That these people who are like, who was that guy the other day there? The big American Jeff Bex, yeah, the Bex, that guy Bex, the big right-wing commentator. Is it Jeff Bex? He was saying he's loyal to Israel above all things. He's an American, or he used to be. So these people who are supporting Israel over and above everything else, I believe they're traitors to their country, whether it be America or Britain, and they're a traitor to their faith. We are Christians. We don't follow the Jewish religion. They killed our Lord. They don't even refer to him as Jesus. They call him the hanged one. And they have him in their writings, their holy writings, that he's boiling in a vat of excrement. So if you're saying that you're loyal to Israel above all things, what, above your own country? above your Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ, really? And some of them are. So I'll have no more to do with them. I just don't take anything to do with these people. It's not on. So, Kit Bear says one cannot... No, not Jeff Bezos. Bex. Nick, do you know who I'm talking about? That American right-wing pundit. What's his name? Jada was telling me about him. She knows his name. Glenn Beck. That's him, Glenn Beck. Yeah, Glenn Beck. He says he's going to go and fight for Israel. He's going to go and move there. Well, if he's listening or he's watching, we'll help pay you. We'll help pay your fare to go there, sir, and leave the good American people alone. I'm sure they could do without you, Glenn Beck. That's him, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck. Oh, he's a Mormon, is he? Glenn Beck, he's a Mormon, is he really? I did not know that. He's a Mormon. Good grief. Well, I'm even more surprised. Mad dispensationalist Christians I can deal with, but what on earth is a Mormon thinking about wanting to be an Israeli? Wow, that's strange. Is that what he is? He's a Mormon. I never knew that. Thanks for telling me. That's even more interesting and more confusing. I live in a constant stage these days of abject confusion. So they'll be confused even more. But anyway, let's have a wee look at what's been going on a good wee clip here of the devastation actually in Gaza, and it's incredible. It looks like Aleppo in Syria. Do you remember a couple of years ago? Have a wee look at this.
هذه هي حارتي يا جماعة الخير. هذا المكان اللي أنا كنت عايش فيه. كل الذكريات، كل الطموحات، كل الأحلام اللي بنيتها في هذه المنطقة زي ما انتم شايفين كلها اختفت. بطل في أثار ملامح للحياة. انتم شايفين فيش ولا حجر واقف على حجر. فيش ولا مكان واقف لسه. لكن مع ذلك لسه الأمل موجود. لسه إن شاء الله حنعمر كل هذه المنطقة بإذن الله. شايفين كل المباني هذه اللي اتدمرت؟ إن شاء الله حنرجع نبنيها من أول وجديد. والاحتلال ما حيقدر يمنعنا وما حيقدر إنه يخلي معنوياتنا تنزل إن شاء الله. صامدين وثابتين وحنعمر.
Is that devastating? You ever seen anything like that in your life? And that's been done in the last 4 weeks. 4 weeks Israel's done that. It's quite incredible. I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. It took America and Britain and all the allied powers months to make Syria look like that, or Baghdad look like that. In fact, we didn't even make Baghdad look like that. We just didn't, because it's not how we roll. We're bad enough, but we're not as bad as that. But that's incredible. And these people have no homes. These people now have no jobs. These people have absolutely no income. So what's going to happen when this war eventually stops? What is going to happen? What's the end result of this? And I see people like France now are getting really a bit uppity and saying to Israel, stop killing babies. That was President Macron. That's very aggressive language for a president to say to a country. Stop killing babies. Stop killing women. He said that this weekend. And to be fair to Joe Biden, and I don't like being fair to him, but fair's fair, behind the scenes, believe me, Joe Biden is really putting the boot in and saying this is going to have to stop. And the idea that Israel was going to totally ethnically cleanse Gaza, America has said, no, you're not. That isn't happening. So I don't know what's going to become of this. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this. But my goodness, it just shows you how wicked our modern governments are. Now, we live in an age of so-called tolerance and openness and liberty, an enlightened age where we're not warmongers anymore. Really? Really? We've had Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, now this, and Libya and all the rest of it. We've had all this stuff going on. And we think we're a wee bit more civilised than our fathers and grandfathers. I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah. Macron and Biden will be told to shut up and know your place. True, maybe true. Yeah, Mitch Cannon makes a very valid point here. He says, since Israel has managed to unite the Muslim world, we may not have to worry about it, as it might cease to exist. Israel, that is, yeah. Yeah. Now, Trinity says two very good things. Bloodthirsty animals, you're right. But Trinity puts the boot in here and says, Zelensky is falling to bits. It's hilarious. He is. What's happened to me, Zelensky? In fact, I was saying earlier on there, look, we're really in a bad way then. Can anybody buy something or donate? But maybe we should have a whip round for little Zelensky, because he has been dumped. He has been dumped, hasn't he? He's been dumped. There's no way back for him. He is toast. He's gone. He's history. And I seen one of these nutters from Ukraine on the other day saying, oh, the offensive is going well. We're doing really well. We've sank a Russian boat. Really? They're getting hammered. And again, my heart breaks. I've got some clips of the graveyards, the Ukrainian graveyards. And I'm telling you right now, I don't support Ukraine, as you know. But as a Christian, as a man, as a father, as a grandfather, my heart, it breaks when I see the amount of young men in Ukraine that's been unnecessarily killed in this war. And people say it was unprovoked. It wasn't unprovoked at all. Russia's been begging us since 2014 to get and sort it out because the ethnic Russians were getting butchered, burned alive, crucified and set on fire. I've got a video where they put an Orthodox guy on a cross, alive, and burn him. I've seen it all. And we've been there. We've been there. We know what we're talking about. We've been there. We know what's going on. So it's pretty grim. Have you seen the vandalised monuments at the White House? I haven't, no. What's that all about? But, you know, it's really outrageous what's been going on there. And it's unprovoked. It wasn't unprovoked in the slightest. Plus, NATO were pushing NATO weapons into Ukraine right on Russia's border. They said, we're not having this. We wouldn't have it. If Russia started putting missiles all along the Mexican border, we wouldn't have it. We would attack them, and rightly so. So did Russia. That's the way it is. And it's the same with the Gaza thing. They say, you know, Hamas did an unprovoked attack on Israel. Unprovoked. Remember, we, the British, implanted loads of Jews there in the 1920s. And then in 1948, the world decided, we're going to give half of your country to Jewish people from Europe. And the Palestinians, no saying it. You're getting dispossessed. These people are in. And from then, the Muslims have lived in the Gaza Strip or the West Bank. But the West Bank is 3, 4 million, 5 million people in it. It's now got nearly 1 million illegal Israeli settlers who just come in, take your land, take your house. That's it. Now the whole world condemns it and says, this is outrageous, you need to stop this. But they don't. So a wee man's farming his wee farm with his goats and his olive trees. All of a sudden, a fanatical Jewish settler comes and says, I'm taking your house and I'm taking your land. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. So it's not an unprovoked attack. When you treat people like that for generation upon generation and you keep them locked in a cage. And another myth we need to get through, especially with Americans, is people saying that, well, the Israelis told them all to leave. Leave where? Gaza is a giant prison camp. You cannot get out it. There's one opening. It was open there at Rafah on the Egyptian border, and Israel kept bombing it. And the south, out of the 11,000 people who have been killed, 40% have been killed in the south, where Israel told them to go to. So they say, go down there, you're safe. And Israel's been bombing it. And 40% of all the casualties have been done in the south. So these people are caught rats in a trap. They're in a barrel. They can't get out. They're not allowed out. People say, well, why don't they just leave? Leave where? They can't get out. They can't get out. They're locked in. And it's the same in the West Bank. There's 200 people now being killed in the West Bank because the Israelis are raiding it nightly and tearing up the roads just for badness. Big bulldozers that rip up the roads behind them. When you rip up a road, you're ripping up the water mains, the sewage mains, the telecommunications, the electricity. Everything's all getting ripped up. And then they drive away. And these cities, Arab cities, are left in ruins and tatters. Well, that'll work. No, what that'll do is turn another generation into terrorists. It's madness. Yeah. Palestinian protesters vandalised all the monuments inside the White House grounds. Really? Good grief. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's terrible. That's outrageous. Oh, Palestinian protesters in the White House. Yeah, they were Jewish. They were the Jewish protesters. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was the Jewish protest the other week there. Derek C said Zelensky still wants revenge. He's totally unhinged. Of course he's unhinged. Have you seen him on his shows now when he was a comedian? Of course he's unhinged. He's a nutter. Yeah, the problem is, and Mr. Griffin points this out, and he can explain it better than me, they have a doomsday policy in Israel called the Samson Plan, which means if they're going down, we're all going down with them. Yeah, did you know about that? No, it's true. You have a Samson Plan because they have nuclear submarines that Germany gave them, as you would. But they have a doomsday plan that if they're going down, they'll press a button and it takes out Europe and all the West. I don't know if it's aimed at America as well. Mr. Griffin maybe help me with that. I don't know if it's aimed at America, but it's certainly aimed at London, Berlin, Paris. We're all going. If they're going, we're going. Even if we've not done it, even if the Arabs do it, we're all going down. So that's called the Samson Plan. Look into it. Israel's Samson Plan. It'll frighten the life out of you. Because these people have got about 200 nuclear weapons. plus nuclear submarines, armed nuclear submarines on the prowl. It's not funny. This is very, very serious business. So, Chinese never heard of that before. Well, take note of it. Israel's the Samson plan. And that's their doomsday scenario, that if they, and that's why everybody rushes to help them, because if they feel they're going to go, they're pressing the button. And that's terrifying. Have a look at it. Look into it. But I want to just finish with, I've got a really good end slate tonight. It's a good old song. Some of the old boys will remember it, and you'll know what it is. It's a brilliant song. But I want to show you this, because I put this up the other day. Jada Franson put it up first. By the way, Jada's the one that's helping us with this technological stuff, so I want to just say thank you, Miss Franson. I salute you, dear. Thank you. I know it's a lot of work on top of the work you already do, but God bless you. And anyway, it'll keep you busy, keep you out of trouble. But we're on the phone in a minute. What are you saying? But she's doing a great job, and it's a lot of stress and a lot of work, because, you know, none of us are techie folk. But, you know, we'll plod on. So I want to show you this. Jada put this up, then I put it up, and the amount of people had grown men. And of course, they always hide behind fake names on social media, but saying, well, so what? We don't care. They all need to die. Kill them all. And I was like, what? What is wrong with people? How could you see something like this and not be sympathetic or feel pity? If you don't feel pity with something like this, you're not human, my friend. You're certainly not Christian, but you're not human. And like, when I see the pictures of the dead Israelis, the Hamas pigs butchered, and I hate Hamas. I want it. Let me be clear about this. I want to see every single last member of Hamas dead. Dead. Every one of them. I don't want any Hamas people to escape. I want all of them to die. Alright? And when I looked at the dead Israelis, I was furious and sad. And this is the same. This is the same. How can you watch this and say, we don't care, kill more of them? It's not right. Have a wee look.
يا عالم طلعوا يا عالم.
Very short. I'll hit it again.
يا عالم طلعوا يا عالم.
There's no way that child will survive, because the hospital's got no supplies because they've all been cut off and whatnot. So there's no way that child will survive those type of injuries, you know. But people are saying, well, who cares? Look what Hamas done. Do you think this wee girl was a member of Hamas? Do you think this wee girl was climbing over the fence or on a hang glider, machine gunning Israeli civilians? Do you honestly think so? Really? This is a child, for goodness sake. This is a child. And I don't care if that child's a Muslim, a Hindustani, a Jew, a Christian, an atheist, or even a pagan. This is not right. This is barbaric. Just inhuman. It's just inhuman. It's inhuman. And I know we've been going on about this for a while. Quite right. Kip Bear saying, somebody said, thou shalt not murder. It's thou shalt not kill. It's actually unlawfully kill, murder. Killing, listen, there's people in this world who need killing. Okay? That's as simple as that. Rapists, child molesters, and all these people and traitors, they should be killed. The Bible says. You know, it's like Christians say to me, oh Jim, how do you square your conscience with this? Are you supporting the death penalty? I said, I don't need to square nothing. I never said it. I neither agree or disagree with it. God has said it. God has said these people must die. That's it. I just have to obey. As a faithful servant, I just have to obey. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to rationalise it. I don't need to justify it. God says it. Done. Good. Job done. Don't talk to me about it. No discussion necessary. God says it. I'm doing it. That's it. And people say, would you do it? Yeah, absolutely. A paedophile. I wouldn't even waste a bullet on him. I'd batter him to death with a bat. Absolutely. Listen, you've got to be robust in this game. And these people, if somebody attacked and murdered your child, would you not kill them? Better believe it. So they do this to other people's children, and as good, decent human beings and Christians, we should be prepared to take these people out and send them to judgment sooner rather than later. But, you know, it's crimes against humanity. And it's just an obscenity. And I know we've been going on about this now for 3 or 4 weeks, but remember, we're sitting in our comfy houses here, and I'm sitting in this wonderful chapter house. You're sitting there in Texas and Arkansas and Florida and all the rest of it. Everyone's lovely for us, isn't it? Everyone's lovely. Can you imagine trying to rear a family now in the Gaza Strip? Can you imagine it? You don't know if you're going to live the next hour because these bombs are falling by the minute, not by the hour, by the minute. Can you imagine such a thing? So, you know, as Christians, we should pray that God would restrain the men of war, that God would protect the innocent, and that God would deal with and help the IDF annihilate the terrorists. But spare the innocent. This is not righteous. So there we go. But again, it's always the same. It's always the same. In war, the innocent people always suffer and the poor people always suffer, isn't it? Isn't it always the same? So we must pray that this madness ends sooner rather than later. And I have a feeling that things are improving a wee bit, and I think the world is waking up and saying this has to stop. This is not good enough. So I'm going to leave you with a lovely end slate. It's an old song, an old American song from the old days, and I hope some of my friends remember it. It was used as an anti-Vietnam song, which I hate, all those peaceniks, you know. When your boys are in war, there's no room to be doing that and casting doubts, you know. Put pressure on the government, yeah, but don't spit on your soldiers. It's not their fault. They do what they're told, all right? So we'll watch this. Mr. Griffin will be back with you, God willing, tomorrow. But until then, remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do us vault.
The Eastern world, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River has bodies floating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fears I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to save with the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. My blood's so mad, feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here just contemplating. I can't twist the truth, it knows no regulation. Handful of senators don't pass legislation, and marches alone can't bring integration. When human respect is disintegrating, this whole crazy world is just too frustrating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Think of all the hate there is in Red China, then take a look around to Selma, Alabama. You may leave here for 4 days in space, but when you return, it's the same old place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury your dead, but don't leave a trace. Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace. And tell me